Hello? Okay. Okay. It's on. Okay. Um, it's time I finally had like a lengthy discussion. This isn't a music related thing, but I feel like it needs to be addressed. So I'm just sick and tired of seeing whatever the whole SNL thing and the whole argument about it. And my main complaint is, well, a couple of things. Like the the ableism that you see with in these videos from the character of he. Okay, what Jeffy. I'm sick and tired of seeing that. Like, and all the rampant like people backing him up, backing Logan up. Um. So number one, he okay. Let's look at the telltale signs. Okay, excuse number one. He claims that he is not a depiction of mentally disabled people when he is constantly saying wearing a bike helmet when he is not riding a bike. He'll make random noises. That's one. He um he um he has interest in things and has the mindset of somebody below their specified age. That's another one. That's a big one. They constantly reference the fact that he can't use the bathroom. That's another one. Like all these signs are there, and I know that like I doubt that he and I doubt that he like had a say in how the design looked, but I'm pretty sure that that's just like a stock like uh puppet you get from like a fair or some random thing like that. I don't know. Because I've seen the exact same other puppets that he uses elsewhere, so I don't know. But and these kids are being taught that ableism and racism is okay. And I'm gonna go over the defenses that I hear. Number number one, the another one is that it's he constantly states that he Logan constantly states that the the videos he makes aren't targeted towards kids, which which would be a fair point if it didn't look so inviting. It like it's like it's very low budget, like 90s Nick Jr. show esque. That it's kind of like Ubi in a way. The way it's filmed, it looks too inviting, and it's and you can't. In another thing, oh, the robot chicken. Well, the thing with robot chicken is that it's suspension of disbelief. That sometimes when you watch that show, you're able to forget that, oh, this doesn't look like action figures. They're moving without the use of hands, but you can't use the same argument for his videos because they are like to see their hands, and like there's actual care put into the into the videos to where it's not um as what's the word? I don't know if egregious is the right word, but so it's not as inviting to a kid because it's not so obvious that they look like toys, but that they're toys. Um, and people will use one of their arguments that oh that they use Mario Kart. Like to be quite honest, I don't have I there's not a single younger sibling family member that's the age of the people that you would see his videos, even though they shouldn't be viewing them. Um, the and none of them have specified or rarely ever specified an interest in anything Mario related in Lord knows how long, and Dylan knows how long. So you can't you can't make that excuse that the 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 Mario thing is inviting the kids because I don't think kids when it comes to video games they don't care about Mario anymore. They care about Fortnite and Call of Duty and Among Us. They don't care about Mario. Like Mario is to Mario is pretty much the gaming what wrestling is the combat sports. But that's nor here nor there. But anyways, the like in you can't really make the suspension of disbelief argument because it's too obvious. It's got like this like weird Greg the Bunny type thing going on, and if you know about that, um, where it very obviously on the surface looks kid friendly, but like I don't know who his videos are supposed to be made for. Um, are they made for? They can't be made for kids because they're too crass. They're too vulgar. They're too in your face. But they can't exactly be for adults either because the way it's filmed is too embarrassing to be too childlike to be um emitted to be viewed by an adult. So who are they for? Like who are they for? The only people that I'd say that is like adult age that really care about the people that stuck around from the very beginning. Um, but I don't like this idea that it's perpetuating this stigma in these kids' head that like once once everybody's fully vaccinated enough to where kids can go to school again. What happens if they have a classmate that is mentally disabled and has to wear a helmet on his head because of whatever disability it may be? They're gonna pick. They're gonna rip that kid to shreds like vultures to a dead corpse because because you know Jeffy told him to. It's like this weird Jim Jones occult thing. Like it's not okay. And yeah, and especially us Gen Z kids. I was born in 2001. We all watched Family Guy. We all watched American Dad. We all watched Robot Chicken. We all watched those adult cartoons. And if you say you did it, you're a liar. Um, but the main thing with that is, yeah, we would repeat jokes and we would understand the gravity of what those things meant, and the weight that they held, but we never let it impact our our views of people. Um, we just it just happened to be a thing that we liked to watch, and we would quote to our friends. We did see that, and it just makes me scared that, like, I doubt that anybody around my family would take it that way. And I've had open discussions with people in my family about the videos because they hate it. They can't figure out a way to get rid of it, and you can't get rid of it. In all honesty, you can't get rid of it. The only way you can really get rid of Logan's content is that you can permaban him. You can do all you can in your power to get rid of him and, like, try to prevent him from making 50 bajillion different channels, and then he'll have no choice but to go to a different site, and that will end up killing his revenue. Um, um, because kids. I mean, yes, kids are knowledgeable about how to work the internet and stuff, but kids are very unknowledgeable about the fact that there's other video sharing platforms besides YouTube. But, like, they don't care. They don't care what Vimeo is. They don't care about Dailymotion. They don't care about BitChute. They don't care. I mean, they probably know what Patreon is. He probably promotes it every chance he gets. But and I've seen the vlog videos. There's fans that go to his house. Like, why? That's like that's some Neverland level stuff right there. But and the kids are perfectly fine. I mean, the kids' parents are perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine being there around this man that is indoctrinating them to put this racist ideology. The herder African Americans like chicken. Herder disabled people are slow. Herder he can't use the bathroom by himself. Herder like, do you not care? Like, honestly, it affects me. It affects everybody. It affects people within these communities because kids are gonna be like, okay, people are gonna think that kids are gonna think that, oh, I'm gonna go to school and, like, annoy and bother some kids in the sped class because kids don't know any better. You can't get There's nothing that they can do. And I don't like where we're headed entertainment wise. And I'm not gonna go full on boomer and say, I miss the good old days when we watched Andy Griffith. No, I'm not gonna be like that. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if you just stop and think that, like, about the impact that you would have on these kids' mind, yes, you can try to sit here and tell me that my videos aren't for kids. No, if they're not for kids, then how come you go out of your way to make merch, make backpacks, and whatever it is that you do? I'm just it's just creepy, and it's just getting really creepy, and I don't like it. This the weird um this weird cult-like fascination that's growing amongst these kids, these young. impressionable minds, these young impressionable youth. And yes, like I said, we all watched American Dad, we all watched South Park, but there's something more like because YouTube is more free reign when it comes to like what people can do unless you're making money from your videos, in which case you're pretty boned on that one. But it's just very gross and very disturbing and very off-putting that this would be okay, because like and like TV shows, like if they pull a TV show off the air, um, you can there's a there's a good chance that it'll be lost media and that you won't see it again for another 20, 30, whatever years until somebody finds it that's dedicated enough to archiving television. Um, but you can't really do much. But I'm just all these all these different like all these different freaking like you can sit there and say that oh he's not a depiction of mentally handicapped. Yes, he is. I know. I would know a depiction of a mentally handicapped person if I see one. Okay, like the helmet thing, check. The inability to go to the bathroom like anybody else, check. Random noises out of nowhere, check. Talking with a speech impediment that makes him sound younger than he is, check. Having an interest in things that are way below their actual age, check. All these things are very much prevalent within mentally disabled people. I should know. I've been in public schools my whole life, and being in a position where I'm disabled myself physically, yes, but I still see these exact things that you're depicting, and it's gonna have a negative effect on the way these kids view people. Like, and then, like, well, Japan go that they won't listen. Like I said, it's like it's it's like he's puppet Marshall Applewhite from the Heaven's Gate. It's it's this weird cult like thing that if you can't it's and not to mention he blatantly lifts multiple things from other things that like not to mention again prevalent use of Nintendo characters. Boom. Use of Shrek. Boom. Um the okay. That's from South Park. That's from South Park. And the first ever time I saw Jeffy appear on screen, because I used to be a fan of his videos and then I grew out of it because it was kind of embarrassing. Imagery wise, it's embarrassing. Like, I'd rather have somebody walk in on me watching ISIS beheading videos. It'd be easier to explain. But, well, not really, but you know what I mean, hyperbole. But, um, but like, it's literally, I thought that wow, he really reminds me of Special Ed Prankingers. But the problem is, it's like a lot less sincere here than it is in Crankingers. And then people say, oh, he uses this term for satire. Satire, do you not know what that term means? satire, especially when it's used to depict a character being racist, like the Wheel of Fortune episode of South Park. It's used as a point, like to point out um, how people, um, how racist people will justify their motive for saying the things that they do and thinking the way that they do. That's the whole point of the episode. That another thing with the Boondocks, like he's not saying anything meaningful about race relations in America just because you make a Black Lives Matter joke in relation to light bulbs doesn't automatically mean you're the second coming of Aaron McGruder. But the the point is that, like, don't try to use the satire defense because you don't even know what that means. You probably saw that. You probably saw that in like a thread somewhere on Twitter, the YouTube comments thought, oh, that's what that word means. If I use this word, I'll look smart. No, no, no. Like the whole merch thing, and like, well, if you really expect me to believe that dolls aren't aimed at kids, no one in their right mind would be caught dead being an honest to God grown man wearing anything related to his videos. No one. No one. Like, and the only thing, like, the only way I could see is somebody, like, legal aged enjoying legal aged adult enjoying his videos is if they just want to get drunk with their friends and laugh at something stupid like people would do the same way that they watch Troll 2 or The Room or anything like that. Or the Saban, the original Dub the Sailor Moon, where they made the two lesbian characters cousins. Um, if you want to know about that, just go look it up yourself. Uh, but like it's giving people like the wrong idea. I know I'm repeating myself. This is unscripted, and I've been going for like 20, 24 minutes now. But dude, anything, no matter what we do, no matter what we as a community do, this guy will not stop. No matter how much he changes the formula to make fans mad with the changing of the puppets. I mean, it's not like I mean, he was on Good Morning America and he got a CND from Nintendo, and still nothing. Like, you cannot, you cannot kill this man's channel. You cannot. You can't do it. He's like the Impact Wrestling of YouTube channels, and that's probably enough analogies. But at least there's still some entertainment value to be had out of Impact from what I've seen. There's no entertainment value in the second rate Wonder shows and knockoff, and that's another thing that reminds me of it's like the 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 harassment skit from Wonder Chosen, but not funny. It's just depressing how we've um it's it's kind of telling when the other guy named Logan that got famous through the internet has kind of done a whole him and his brother have kind of done a whole 180 when it comes to winning the respect of people on the internet. Now it's completely the other way around. I mean, at least he's trying. At least one of them's advocating for UFC fighters that have better pay. What are you doing? You don't take responsibility for what the effects of your content will do on the kid's brain and the kid's way of thinking. And like I said, no matter how much adults, parents, whatever, police their child's content, they're gonna figure out a way around it, and if you try to take it away from them, they're just gonna resent you and hate you because because of their almighty puppet god. But um, it's just infuriating that like the kids are gonna grow up and think that ableism is okay and that racism is okay and that misogyny is okay and that heard there black people have the first name Tyrone. That's another popular thing that he likes to do in his videos, but it's just gross. It's just disgusting how people can be okay with this and no one says a thing. No one says one thing about it. And in all honesty, I want to know if there's anybody out there. You can tweet me at Rossmeyer. You can DM me on Instagram or SoundCloud or wherever you can. Or you can comment on the video if I end up turning comments on. I usually don't because bot comments are annoying. But I really want to know, is there any disabled person, whether it be physical, mental, or anybody that knows Logan personally that has connections to disabled people from their family or their friends that look at him now and think, really, dude? Like, what do you think? Like, I'm like, no matter what you do, you can't get rid of his channel. You can't kill it. It's immortal. The only way you can kill it is if you permanently ban him and force him to go elsewhere because like I said, despite how smart kids are when it comes to knowing how to work an iPad or a computer or a phone at a young age, they kind of kids kind of think that the only two websites in existence are YouTube and TikTok. I mean, like it's very obvious. Like, they they're very ignorant to like a lot of to the internet being websites beyond YouTube and TikTok. I used to think that YouTube was the only website in existence. Dude, I could barely read, so I thought YouTube was just called www.actionfigures.com because I used to watch wrestling action figures stop motion videos. And then I discovered his videos, which kind of led down this weird full circle path. Uh, But yeah, I could go on for what seems like an eternity about the amount of anger that the existence of this content just infuriates me. Like, like it boils my blood so much that you could use said blood to grill enough stakes for the entire homeless population of the whole planet Earth. That's how much it annoys me. And like, we can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of it. It's complete. He was on Good Morning America. And he got a cease and desist from Nintendo. And still nothing. He's had to change his designs because of said cease and desist. And then, guess what happened? Nothing happened. That's what happened. That should be very telling of where we're headed in terms of entertainment. It's just very sickening. And like, what happened to the whole thing about the kid that tried to hang himself because of the videos? You didn't say sorry, and you just kind of brushed it off as, well, you mean to tell me a kid can't find a kid just has a news line around the... Come on, dude. Everybody, everybody with a two set of eyeballs, two sets of eyeballs, and you know, working pupils will know that kids are smart when it comes to figuring out work. You mean to tell me that this kid couldn't MacGyver up a noose? Couldn't MacGyver a noose out of, like, I don't know, duct tape or a blanket? I mean, or a pillowcase, you know? Speaking of pillowcases, and not to be morbid or dark, but I'm willing to bet that the kid just thought, well, I might as well go for the next best thing and don't have a rope, and tried to smother himself. I'm pretty sure that they just, I'm pretty sure that that's what happened, and they just tried to put, and they put the whole noose thing in there just to, you know, just to give it the ye old razzle dazzle, you know. It's just, and he didn't own up to it, you know. He doesn't care. It's just so weird. Like, is the attention you're giving, Logan? This is probably the point I'm gonna make because I've been going for 33 minutes now. The last point I'm gonna make is this question. Is this question. Do you ever think that the attention you're getting is worth being the guy known as the dude that plays with dolls when he's nearly 30? Is it worth being known as the guy that was partly responsible for a young impressionable child nearly committing suicide because of a puppet that he saw your brother fisting? I mean, I'm sorry, puppeteering. Is it really worth it? Is it really? Is it? I'm sorry if I'm getting a little angry and a little vulgar, but is it really? Is it really worth it? Like, do you care? Do you care about the fact that there will be thousands and thousands of bullying cases potentially from the happening to autistic children around the world because of your depiction of a mentally disabled child? Oh, and that's another thing too I forgot to mention. Um, they try to, with the whole thing with you know who his mom in that one video, that they try to like get you to feel sympathy for for bootleg special ed. And by special ed, I mean special ed from crank yankers, of course. For bootleg crank yanker by by making his mother by making the mother puppet a drug addict. And dude, like, do you not care? Like, do you not honestly care? Do you for the greater good? You would just stop your channel and you would just go and live off your extortion money. I mean, your YouTube money. I mean, your your ableist dollar. I mean, your revenue money, and just do your own thing. Go invest in a farm and go go to med school and become a vet. Go, actually speaking of med school, here's what you could do. You could take all that money you made from making fun, from using that money to make fun of the mentally disabled, and you could invest it to St. Jude or primaries, or or better yet, you could use that money and you could go to med school and be a doctor for these kids and have an impact on their lives other than a potentially negative one. Well, who am I kidding? You won't do that. Don't care. You just see money. You don't care. You're riding this wave. You know that YouTube is the new television. You know that YouTube is, you've been doing this. You've been doing these videos since I was like what, 6, 7 years old? I discovered your videos when I was 9. And I got older and I realized that this is way too try hard. And not the, again the imagery thing, again broken record. But you don't care. You don't care about the potential effects that that these excuse me again, these depictions will have on the psyche of your children. I mean, of your viewers, which you shouldn't have anyway, because your video, again, that gray area of who your videos are supposed to be for. You know, I try hard and I try hard to to help out my community, the disabled community, whether it be mental or physical. You know, I write articles about advocacy and how we should be depicting people people within this boat that you're using for clout. Um, and for what? Just so waltz in, you could waltz in on your horse, your high horse, and you could make freaking 12, potentially like 12 digit, 7 digit figures, more so than I could ever dream of from my music career that I've been working on since I was 16 years old. I'm nearly 20 now. You don't care. You should care. Go and take that money and invest it in something good, worthwhile. You know, like I don't know, like how. Again, getting a little mean here. I don't know how a man can willingly spend this whole life for the past 15 whatever years. I mean, you were a kid when you started your channel, so I'm going to give you a little more leeway on that front. Um, Um, and then like, and then be proud of it. Be proud of not only the fact that you play with dolls for a living, but also be proud of the fact that you make money doing so, feeding feeding kids, no matter how much you try to say that that's not your intent, feeding kids these perceptions of the world and how we should view people, and African American people are this and gay people are that, and you constantly use the F slur and the R slur, and yes, even though I knew the gravity of that word and I've come to hate it, I've used it before. I've used it a couple times. But that was when I was a teenage edgelord and didn't have as much empathy for people in that position as I do now. And being around mentally disabled people for um the past six whatever years of my life up until I graduated high school really opened my eyes as to how people should be treated. And maybe that's what you should do. Go do Go volunteer out of school and be a teacher's assistant for a special ed class. Go. I mean, you've done that before, and weirdly enough, they've named the team after the character that you say the videos are marketed towards kids. But then again, by the way, a school signed off on that. They didn't do any background looking. They didn't do any background checks. I'm willing to bet they just why he's popular with the kids. How bad can it be? The but again, take that, take that YouTube money and whatever, and just maybe that's what you need to do. Go volunteer, go volunteer at an assisted living facility or a care center. Maybe it would open your eyes as to how you should see these people, and maybe just maybe, it will get you to stop pulling this BS. And maybe you can actually do something with your life that isn't shrouded in negativity and depictions like what you're doing with the whole Jeffy puppet is the YouTube age version and the disability version of a menstrual show. But you don't care. Like I said, you don't care. You should care. You should, but you don't. And that's the sickening part. Care. Care. I hope that you one day have a kid that's in the exact same boat of the people that you make fun of. You know, helmet and all. And hopefully one day you will realize that, oh wow, maybe I shouldn't have made millions and millions of dollars off that, because look at my child. I hope you do. And I wish the best of luck for that child, that you know what you're doing. I hope you do. I pray you do. Open your eyes a bit more to the world and the humanity of people. Disability or not, you're gross. You're a you like to think that you're some sort of YouTube age amalgamation of Seth MacFarlane and Trey Parker and Matt Stone all rolled into one body. But you're not. You're a fraud. You're you make Doug Walker. You make all of Channel Awesome. You make all of Channel Awesome look like angels sent from heaven. You you're something else, dude. You're something else. Dude, you make the most horrible people on the planet just by the content you make, not by the actions of you as a person in the real world, but you you they're just you you if you were more caring enough to how you depict um the things you put in the videos and the archetypes of people you put in your videos, you could be the YouTube age equivalent of John Cena when it comes to Make-A-Wish. And I know that bringing up a John Cena reference within that realm and that context is very not so topical right now because of the whole China thing. But the point is, but you could literally be, you could literally be the John Cena of YouTubers, but you're not because that would require for you to care and have empathy for and realize what you're doing, or realize what doing, or as one of you, as your most popular character would say. And but dude, I know I was harsh on you these last few minutes, but just please, just just quit because of for the greater good. Flag, hire somebody to personally flag all the re-uploads and just erase it from complete existence. Well, as much as you can. It would you would if you knew what was good for you. And that's all I really have to say about that. No, no music plug, no nothing, no social media plug. I just had the very event that, and no one says anything. The parents in these vlogs, or they go to his house, which again isn't suspect at all. Um, um, it's either they're like putting that don't they don't want to like tell their kids no, or they just want to do anything to keep them happy or whatever. But please police what your kids are doing, like on the internet. Just do it a little more. And I know that there's like very little, but like, okay, every time I say that I'm gonna sign off, I keep going because this is just that frustrating to me. Um, but you can't. Doesn't really matter what you do. You can't hide. You, I mean, you can be that. You can be that parent. You can be that parent that that polices every little thing your kid does 24/7 and make them hate you. Or you can be that parent that just doesn't care at all. You can either have their kid be like you could either have your kid be an overly sheltered, overly protected weirdo and be afraid of society, like, or you can have your kid, you can leave your kid alone to do whatever they want 24/7, with no regulation whatsoever, and they can grow up to be they can grow up to be some sort of villain to society because of the things that you they would consume behind your back. So what do you do? Like what do you do? What do you do at that point? I want if there's anybody that's a parent that is an avid this kid is an avid YouTube watcher, um, I want you to really think about what they're doing. And if it means to be one of those parents, like in that one Onion article where you raise them on old media and purposely make your kid out of touch with what's cool with people in their generation, so be it. If that's what it has, if that's what you have to do to, if that's what you have to do to um keep keep your kid like nice and and empathetic, like it's whatever. Just think about what. And to you, Logan, one more time, think about what you're doing with your content. Think about it. Really think about it. And I'm not saying that from a oh god it's cringy, get it out of my face kind of way. I'm meaning it from like a human thinking rationality kind of way. Like just just do something about it, please. Just think about it a lot more. Just do whatever it takes to just whatever. Just do something. Anyways, thank you and goodbye for all this time. And I'll leave you with a burp.